So, if any of you don't know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you know, I love buying iPods as of recently, and um, I think that if anything, iPods are really nice, and especially when I actually have a collection of iPods that I have on display. I've got three iPod Classics, a fourth generation iPod Touch, and I've got an iPod Shuffle second generation on a Animal Crossing plushie that I got from GameStop. So that is what's over here since I've had this set up for a few videos. So yeah, but also this spot right here is for an iPhone that I will be getting very very soon. So do stick around for that video. But I do want to say that I have one iPod which I bought very recently, and I want to say that I want to give you guys a few reasons why I started using this iPod, along with a comprehensive review of the iPod, which I am going to be showing in this video, which is the iPod Touch 5th generation. Woke up on the west side, sitting at the beach, I was taking my time. Now, alongside the 5th generation iPod Touch, I will also be talking about the 4th generation iPod Touch, along with the ZTE Maven 1, which this will be just kind of a side thing since I'm going to be do small comparisons. But yeah, 4th generation and 5th generation are the main ones, but yeah, let's talk about them. Now, the very first thing you will notice is that I've got a white one and a black one, but yeah, 4th generation iPod. I bought this for the price of $40. Move that over there. This is running iOS 6.1.6, which came out in 2014. But this is not the main one that I'll be talking about. But yeah, just a quick little thing. That this one would be the last iPod Touch to retain the classic iPod design, which was very iconic for the iPods. It included like a stainless steel back, which was prone to scratching, as you can see with all these scratches on the back. This is a 32 gigabyte model, and it also contained the 30-pin connector. And this also was the very first one to ever retain a camera. So now if we compare this to the 5th generation iPod, as you can see, it is a little bit bigger. Because the iPhones and iPod Touches at the time were retaining a 3.5-inch display. This is also the very first one to have a Retina display. But if we compare this to the 5th generation iPod Touch, you can see it has a 4-inch display instead of 3.5-inch. Now, if we turn to the back, there's the big change. Now, instead of having stainless steel, this had aluminum for the material around. It also had a loophole in for like the for being able to put like a a wrist strap on it. It also had a flash and that kind of stuff. This was also the very first one to contain the lightning connector, as you can see. And it definitely is a much different design. I also got the slate black as well. And as you can see right there, it has an engraving on it, which you can't see because it's not going in focus. But hopefully it'll... Yep, it just went in focus. But yeah, mine came with an engraving. That's what you get for $50. Yes, I paid $50 for it. And also, because it is slate black and it is used, you can see that that there is discoloration. And this is a common thing with slate black iPod Touches, and even the space gray iPod Touches as well. And it wasn't just that. It also was on the iPhones as well. The slate black was prone to rubbing off over time, and as you can see, mine is not really that bad. It is rubbing off a little bit. It's not that bad. You can definitely especially tell, like right here especially. But as you can see, I will probably show you guys after a while if this does rub off. So because it was analyzed aluminum. This guy was stainless steel. This is anodized aluminum. Anyways, let's go into the software itself. This is running iOS 9.3.5, which came out in 2016. It is the latest OS it can run. This, on the other hand, is running iOS 6.1.6, which is the latest OS it can run. And as you can see, it looks a lot different. This originally ran iOS 6, but because but this had a few years of updates. And as you can see, it is now this did contain the A5 Fusion chip from the iPhone 4S. This had an A4 chip from the iPhone 4. But one thing which I don't understand is I don't know why they didn't get this up to iOS 7, but I don't know. It's a whole thing which I don't understand. I know there's some people who can get iOS 7 on this guy, but it's a whole thing. And also I put a iOS 7 wallpaper as well because I like this wallpaper and it gives me a nostalgic vibe. But yeah, let's talk about now I am gonna have to bring up some things with the 4th gen for a second because because it has an advantage over this guy. The 5th gen does. First of all, as you can expect, this thing cannot download any apps. Even though this can, I don't want to download any apps on this guy. But this guy, one of the biggest problems is that if I put it on Wi-Fi, the battery will suck. Like it will dramatically decrease the amount of time this can hold a charge on Wi-Fi. And also, insult to injury, this guy can't even log into an Apple ID account. I've tried, and yes, I did not put the wrong password in. This guy just can't get it in. I've tried, and unfortunately, this guy cannot log in. And that was a huge bummer, because one of the biggest things which I really wanted is to use a secondary, like, smartphone sort of thing. And unfortunately, this guy doesn't do it. And also, it doesn't support, it probably doesn't even support the service anymore. I think it does, but on Wi-Fi, I can't get it to log in. So now an advantage over this guy. Now, very first off, this guy is on Wi-Fi, and as you can see, my battery is it looks like it's under 50%. And if I show you, as of right now, the battery, battery usage, the reason I have to show you this is because, see that little standby number? 52 hours on standby. Yep, this guy has not been plugged in over 48 hours and it's still holding a charge. Now, I know there's a lot of people who will say that their iPod Touches are not... I don't know if this has a new battery or not. I bought this from Elite Obsolete Electronics, by the way. I don't know if he replaced the battery in this, but this battery is lasting a long time. Like, I've used this for the last week, and it surprisingly holds a charge. 52 hours and that stuff. And just to prove, it is on iOS 9. Yep, iOS 9.3.5. But yeah, this can text message fine. The Wi-Fi doesn't really affect the battery life as much. I don't really have many apps on here. Not like you can download any apps. Most apps on the App Store needs it can either run higher. like some apps I know can run on this guy, but not a lot. And I just want to have this guy mainly as a music player, but also a secondary phone. So yeah. Now let's talk about the pros and cons with this thing. First of all, one of the biggest pros to me is being able to play like YouTube videos properly and all that kind of stuff. And I do download a few occasional YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff, like from Danny Gonzalez and all these. And the viewing experience is
my hands recently due to unforeseen events. I've had some extra time to sit down and watch this movie, and I gotta say, out of all the different movies there when it first came out, so there's a good chance that some of you have seen it. And if you have seen it, then you know that this movie's got a really weird ending. It's very strange. There's a lot of stuff that goes totally unexplained. So without further ado, here is my review.
But yeah, viewing experiences on this guy. This guy can play 1080p video. This guy, on the other hand, I've tried getting YouTube videos on here. I only really got one successfully on here, and it's just a short video from Jacksepticeye. And yeah, this guy doesn't really, it's not really successful getting the YouTube videos on there. But video viewing wise, I think if anything it's fine. Like the thing is that I think if anything this is a good viewing experience, like Mr. Dangpod said, which by the way, he had a 7th gen and this is the same size of that. So video experience, it's good, along with music, which is pretty much what the iPod is known for. As you can see, we've got like music on here and that stuff. And even though this is running iOS 9, yeah, this is iOS 9. I think that if anything, sound quality wise, I think it sounds fine. Now let's talk about cameras, which I've taken a few pictures. As you can see right here, and this guy, first of all, this can record in 1080p video. I think this is 5 megapixels. I'm not correct. I'll put some more information right here. Here's a video test of the iPod Touch 5th generation. Bunch of vibrant colors. This also has a front-facing camera as well. This guy could output VGA on the front-facing camera. This could do 720p and that kind of stuff. 720p on this guy. But if we, I'm gonna actually take a picture of right now. So, if I can get it properly. So. Here's a test of the front-facing camera. As you can see, Xbox right there and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think if anything, it's fine for like taking pictures and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not perfect. It will need a long way to be able to take perfect pictures. But against this guy beyond is the alternative, a much better alternative. Now, one of the biggest problems which I have heard by a lot of people is that this runs slow on iOS 9. I think it runs fine, but I bet if you rammed it up with a bunch of apps and all that kind of stuff, then it would run more slowly. But I think if anything, the battery life and all that kind of stuff is okay. It's not terrible, but I do really like it. But one of the biggest issues which I have with it, and this is something which I'm worried about with the future, is that because of this slate black color and this spot gets bigger and all that kind of stuff. That's one thing which I really am worried about, but that's just gonna have to be how it is. Now, an alternative, to get this guy out of here. An alternative that you can get is yourself a cheap Android phone. Now, by the time that this video is, by the time that this guy would get the 6th or 7th generation, you could say, oh, you can get yourself a cheap Android phone. And this is a cheap Android phone from, which is prepaid from AT&T. This is a ZTE Maven 1. It came out in 2015. It has 8 gigabytes, unlike this guy has 32 gigabytes in it. Both of these do. Both of these have 32 gigabytes in it. But also this guy, it has also cell service and all that kind of stuff. But generally, which one would I choose? I would choose this guy by a long shot. But I mean, I think if anything, this iPod Touch is fine. I really do like it a lot. I didn't expect to like the slate black color as much as I did. I mean, it really does give me a really nice vibe of it. But for me, I think if anything, I would say I would give this a 9 out of 10. I mean, I think that this is the perfect iPod? No. I don't think it is. But for something which I can carry around and all that kind of stuff, in use all the time for music and videos and all that kind of stuff, I think it's great. But if you want to download any apps and all that kind of stuff, please do take note that app support is going to be non-existent. You can probably download a few games, but this guy has an A5 chip in it, which means it's not going to run as fast. It's going to be a little bit slower. But if you're using it mainly for music and videos and all that kind of stuff, I think it would be fine. So, but yeah, that's my review of the iPod Touch 5th generation. So, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Back that ass up.